to another stream! This time it's a different topic, and I brought with me someone who basically is sharing the same idea. So go ahead.
Sup, bitches? It is
Yeah,
RoseFang16 again, coming to you live with the Dragon Lover 95 herself.
yeah, everyone! And you know the ordeal. Grab a snack, grab a drink, have a plushie on standby if you need to, and get ready to be part of the stream. Welcome, 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 everyone. Get yourself seated and then some. You know the whole shtick now.
Yep, today we are going to be talking about our personal favorite video games that we feel get a little too much hate than they deserve.
That or games who are just starting, yet people are still holding the hate torch. I'm calling it a torch because you're starting a fire and such, and it spreads.
Yeah, basically. So we hope you enjoy what we are going to bring to the table today. So
and people, keep in mind these are with our opinions, and we are not trying to start any flame wars or anything. We are just trying to get things out, and we got ourselves our first.
Hi, the Dragon Lover 95 and Rosane16. Hello, Sonic the Hedgehog. Welcome to the stream.
Hellos, welcome. It's so good to have some familiars show up.
So today we're going to be talking about our two favorite games. For me, The Legend of Spyro Trilogy.
And me, it's Pokemon. And I'll basically talk about another game that will be a little bit later on. But for now, we can pretty much go with what we talk about.
Yes, and just before we begin officially, like Ashley here said, these are our own opinions. We do not expect you to agree with us, and we're not going to be those kind of people that go, well, if you don't like what I like, then you're not a true video game fan, or whatever.
Seriously, whoever came up with that statement is rather stupid. And hello, welcome, Koshi, welcome.
Hello, welcome to the stream. But yeah, like I was saying, these are our own personal opinions, and since nowadays we have seen people who try to state their opinion start fucking unintentional flame wars, we wanted to bring that out in the open. And Worlds Collide just commented saying, just came by for a bit. Welcome, Worlds.
Yeah. You're welcome to stick around if you like.
Yep. So, Ashley, would you like to start us off?
Yes. Now, I'm gonna pretty much say this right now, but let's just say I'm not really the biggest when it comes to criticism and such, but I am gonna try, okay? I'm gonna try. Basically, I'm gonna talk about Sword and Shield. Well, okay, the game I have is Shield, and you guys probably have seen my Let's Play of it.
I have Shield.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be very clear here. I don't think they're that bad of games. I mean, yes, they're different and such, but I don't see them as bad. But I think there's a lot of things people honestly complain about, such as like, oh, the animations for the Pokemon don't look very lively, or the attack animations are just so lazy. Well, when you're building these sort of games, do you really think they pretty much they do what they do? I know, I understand, but come on, you can only do so much.
Yeah, in a profession like that, it takes a lot of time and effort to put into a video game to
Same
make
can be
it.
said with sprite games.
Exactly. Like, there are plenty of things that video game designers have to cut out.
Oh,
trust me, honey, I know all too well what that feels.
Hey, you want me to send Lance over to pretty much pay you a visit? I'm pretty sure he can help. Or maybe Fallon.
Ha!
No, wait, Knights. Knights would basically help.
And maybe Princess Luna. All hail the Moon Queen. Anyways, like Ashley was saying, I also have Sword and Shield. I also have Shield myself, and I really don't understand why it's getting so much more hate than it really
Yeah,
deserves.
why don't you pretty much explain as to what your experience was with the game?
Well, from the moment that I started playing it, I found the whole world of Galar beautiful.
Yeah, I really like the settings. There's more lore to it. There's mystery, such as that giant toxicity, and
That's
it's
fine.
okay. And also, let's keep in mind the different Pokemon you can find and their behaviors. It's definitely different.
I'll say.
And I like how you can literally see them out in the wild and such, rather than just walking through the grass and just hope and just proudly getting an encounter. Because a lot of people found that annoying.
Yeah, I love that about Sword and Shield. You could actually see the wild Pokemon that you want to instead of having to hope and pray that you're gonna find the Pokemon you're looking for, you can actually see it walking around. So I
Yep.
think that's really cool.
Yeah. And the music. Oh, it's amazing.
It's beautiful.
It's very, very it fits the environments.
It really does. And let's not forget my personal and another reason that I had asked for Shield in particular is for one certain Pokemon variation. Galarian Ponyta
Actually, it's in
is
Sword.
oh, well, whatever. Well, anyways, the reason I wanted to get Sword and Shield was because
Oh, we're doing fine, thank you.
we're good. Yeah, the reason I wanted Sword and Shield is more or less for a personal reason because, well, one, I wanted to explore the world of Galar because it looked really, really interesting. And for another more kind of hilarious reason, that there was actually going to be a Ponyta variation in Galar, and for many who know me personally, and yes, I am a huge horse nerd.
No, it's okay. It's not an issue at all.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's an issue. I'm just more or less just making a joke about myself. But like, when I heard about that, and our friend Power Trooper showed me the Galarian variant, I lost my shit.
Do I have? Hold on. Let me get it up. Let me get the. Let me get it up. Let me get the Galarian Pokemon, and I can show.
Yeah. I mean, like, oh my god. Galarian Ponyta and Rapidash are freaking gorgeous.
I
And
know. Why do I think it could fit into the MLP verse?
Oh yeah. And like Galarian Ponyta is this precious little cotton candy like unicorn, and I freaking love it. And Galarian Rapidash is just so elegant looking. The long, beautiful mane that ends in those lovely, elegant curls. And personally, it has one of my favorite color palettes, so that's also a big win for me.
Yeah, it's so fitting.
And not to mention, it actually looks like a unicorn. I freaking love that.
Yeah, and psychic base, and let's say psychic is basically a form of magic.
And not to mention, some of the other variants for Sword and Shield are a mixture of both awesome, hilarious, adorable, and just what the fuck am I even looking at?
It's a Darmanitan.
That I think that the ice variant is extremely hilarious and adorable.
Yeah, it's a snowman.
That is hysterical, and I freaking love that.
It's a snowman.
And not to mention, I love how like the Galar version of Meowth in Persian look have a sort of Viking
Yeah.
like motif to it. I think that's hysterical.
Oh yeah.
And let's not forget Zigzagoon. Like it literally looks like it looks like something from the band Kiss.
That's what they were going for.
I think that's hysterical. And like, my mom loves the band Kiss.
And here's good old the Obstagoon.
I think that is such a cool ass design.
Honestly, and I basically named mine Jasper after the Steven Universe character because she would totally have an Obstagoon.
And let's not forget the Galarian wheezing.
Yeah, it's a gentleman.
I think that's hysterical. And I actually have one, and
Is it weird that I think Cyril would have one?
Oh my god, he would! And the funniest thing is, I actually named mine, and I named mine Sir Sludgington, but I couldn't fit the whole name in there, so I call him Sir Sludging Game, but I'm still calling him Sir Sludgington, and no one can fucking stop me.
Yeah.
But still, I think that's hysterical that why didn't it have a monocle? That would have been perfect. Oh my god. I think that's hysterical that like it has these little things on their heads that look like little top hats. I think that's hilarious.
You have the regular old Weezing and you have the Galarian verse.
Which I think is friggin' awesome.
Now, the little Pika-clone, Morpeko.
Yeah, I kind of find it interesting that it can change its appearance from this sweet little ball of sunshine and fun to looking like something that's crawled straight out of hell.
Well, I think and the joke would obviously be the Pokemon with the edge or the related. I get it. That's the joke.
God, dude.
Yeah, that's the joke.
I think I just saw a version of Galarian wheezing as a human.
Oh no, hold on. I was going to that.
I'm like, oh no. Oh my god.
It works!
That's funny! This is enough. This is fucking. Oh my god. You know, this is the reason why I love some of the variations of this game.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me. This is hysterical.
Why do I feel like that Galarian Weezing is a business gentleman who is very rich, but he's more focusing on helping keep the environment clean with its air and such.
I could totally freaking see that, and I would love to. And I'm sorry, that's hysterical.
Oh, meanwhile, the Candle version basically is more on the polluting and such. Oh, that's just my cousin. He is nothing more than a disgrace to the family.
Now, I'm kind of curious.
Yes.
The call that a wheezing would have. Does the Galarian wheezing have a sort of British accent with the call? If that's actually a thing, if they ever do an anime for that.
Oh my
gosh! We are getting way off topic here.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Well, we hope you enjoyed that little bit.
Yes. Okay, and also, a lot of people have a mix about the characters. Yeah.
And hello, Hannah. Welcome.
Yes. We were just getting to the topic with the characters in Sword and Shield. Yeah. Honestly, they're all a unique bunch.
Yep.
They're basically they're pretty lively in their own way, and you can learn about them through their cards.
True.
I mean, I'm not even kidding about that.
Right, saying you are.
I think a lot of people are not really a fan of Leon because they think he looks ridiculous, or pretty much he could have saved the entire Galar region if not using a freaking Pokeball or something. Or the fact that he has a lack of sense of direction or something like that. It's like he's the undefeatable champion and you just like, I beat him overnight. Well, you guys are just a bunch of skilled gamers. What about those who didn't know how to beat Leon? Not to mention, not to mention, I don't know. I honestly didn't mind Leon all that much. The guy is trying his best for the Galar region. Think about it. No one has ever been able to beat him. Why do you think he has all these skills, and why do you think he's motive like this? He wants to give the Galar a good sense of hope and reasons to keep with those battles and such, because it's a way to form bonds with Pokemon and such.
I hear that.
I mean, think about it. There are people who aren't perfect, and Leon shows that. Just because he's an undefeated champion doesn't mean he has his own faults.
Exactly.
Thank you! Thank you! I mean, let's be honest here, I sometimes get lost too. I lack direction, so yeah.
Amen.
But if there's something we gotta give credit for, is that he is a cool big brother to Hop.
It really is.
And he gave Hop that Wooloo.
That is such a sweet thing for him to do.
Yeah, seriously. How many siblings give their younger sibling a Pokemon before they travel? Seriously, that is just the nicest thing anyone could do. I mean, look at the rivals in other games. They're either your friend who basically happens to be on the similar journey and such, or they're a flat out jerk who just steals the Pokemon.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm looking at you, Blue and Silver.
And like, okay, can I just bring up the elephant in the room?
Yeah, or in this case, the Phanpy in the room.
Ha! I will admit, I wasn't a big fan of the grunts.
Yeah, Team Yell, they're just more of fans who are just getting in your way and such. I think that's the point. They're not meant to be taken serious. They're just punk rock group members.
Yeah, but if I could just go off topic for just a moment.
Go ahead.
The grunts in Sun and Moon. My God, I have never seen such a bunch of cringy ass grunts in my life.
Yeah, Team Skull, I will admit, they were kind of cringy, but I will also say this: there's fun fact in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers, there is a team in there called Team Skull, and they were a Weezing, a Zubat, and their leader was a Skuntank.
I learned something new today.
Yeah,
also,
keep in mind that was basically about. I think it was a 2009 game. I don't recall. But all I can pretty much say is that that's I'm surprised that they actually reused the name Team Skull for the thugs.
Call back.
If you count Guzma, practically one of them, basically the one helping you, then I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, the only one who helps you is Guzma, nobody else.
True.
So I don't know. I don't really get what you mean by the other members helping, because I never see it. We never see it.
Yeah. But still, like, besides the grunts, everything else is just like freaking awesome.
Yes.
And also, Gigantamax. That's really freaking cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, people say, "Oh, that's just another gimmick." It's just they're turning them into Godzilla themes and such. It was like, and I'm just like, I don't get it.
Yeah, really. Like,
I mean, that's reasonable. I mean, I'm not lying. I'm not gonna lie. That basically is accurate.
True.
Oh, Team Yell. Yeah. They do help. They actually were a lot more useful than Team Skull.
And Haven the Terrible, that's fine if you like the skull grunts. That us disliking is just our opinion, our own opinions.
Yeah. I mean, let's just say Sun and Moon, the original, it basically did have some like serious topics they basically kind of make in there. which a lot of people wouldn't honestly understand until they get some of the signs and such.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the thing, Dynamaxing. Yeah, I find it kind of unique. It's
And
not.
not to mention, like, the designs for some of the Dynamax Pokemon, I think personally are really cool.
Yeah. Can I also bring up the fact that talking about with like rivals and hi doggo.
1 second, please. I gotta go grab something, and
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Those are her pets, people. Don't mind that. Now, for rivals, you have 3 rivals. I'm gonna be clear here. They each bring a uniqueness to their, well, place in the game. Honestly, they feel in ways kind of real. As in, they're basically doing their own. They basically have their own past. What they're basically aiming for, and such. You have your friend Hop, who basically is your best bud in the game, though he doesn't travel with you. I mean, I get that, but it wouldn't kind of need to actually have a companion aside from your Pokemon. Oh well. And well, I will say this: yes, he's enthusiastic and such, but think about it. Weren't you guys basically like that back then too? You were so thrilled and you looked up to someone who you basically deemed as your idol. Yeah, that's what he basically was. Heck, even in the animated special with Wooloo and such, it just showed that Hop, he's just precious. It's understanding why Leon would be proud of him and such.
Also, yes, Hop is a precious being. Also, I'm back, and if y'all hear me somehow eating something, I didn't eat lunch yet, so I didn't eat that much today, so
yeah. I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, yes, Hop, he basically is the rival that gets the weak kind of Pokemon, but at least he has a cool battle music. Even when you're facing him in the finals and such, he also pretty much has that too.
But like, he just has that sort of. He's just so charming and just. You can't even be mad at him when he's like trying when you defeat him in battle. He's just so positive, and it's honestly kind of contagious.
Yeah, but there was a sudden change when he got beaten by Bede. You can see his sudden attitude change and how he's not as confident. Oh, we're just talking about Sword and Shield and such and pointing things out. But yeah, seriously, I felt kind of bad for Hop. I mean, yes, he did. He was basically doing that sort of stuff, but that's because he was doing what he basically believed in. He wants to get stronger, and he wants to prove that he could do it. But when someone like Bede basically manages to defeat him and just still talks stuff on him, that kind of does hurt because that's exactly how someone who has to deal with a bully. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bede, but that was kind of a dick move.
Honestly, I never really liked Bede. I thought he was way too full of himself.
Yeah, plus well, then again, he's an orphan. He basically he didn't have anybody to help him push him in the right direction, and when
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Basically, think like he's the Galar version of frickin' Blue from Kanto, which, keep in mind, he's basically just bland anyways. He's just your typical rival bully who's a dick for just being a dick.
I've never played Pokemon Blue, so.
And you want to know what his sling was back in the old days? He says, "Smell you later." Is that really the best insult you could come up with? You could have just said later, loser.
as a certain as that squid from Squidville once said, I've heard better comebacks from a turkey sandwich.
I heard better comebacks from a turkey sandwich.
Get a life.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, seriously, man. At least someone like Opal managed to set him straight.
Oh, good, because he needs that kind of direction in his life.
Yeah, seriously, he doesn't need to become a much more awful person later on. At least he becomes a little more tolerable. But still, he's still smug about things. Like he's basically that entitlement, even if he does have his own insecurities and such. It's like, dude, you have pink. Why do you think anyone's not taking you serious? Well, then again, pink is a manly color, so aside that, but still. And then you have Marnie. I mean, she's a gothic girl. Her brother's basically leader of his own little band and such. He's also a gym leader and such. And she basically was your third rival, who basically has a really good also theme too. She's the one with the Morpeko.
Yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah,
but to me, honestly, I like her personality way more than Bede.
Yeah, at least she has her reasonings as to why she challenges you and why she does these. Heck, she even helped you get into the city where you're gonna have to fight the Dark Gym leader.
But the thing is, she just seems very genuine, which is a lot more than I can say about Bede.
Even she is a dark theme and such, she's not mean per se. Why do I honestly get the feeling that she would actually get along fine with Fluttershy? I mean, come on. She basically would be that.
I could totally see that.
I mean, come on. Fluttershy basically had like the look. It's hilarious. I never thought I'd bring up a gothic looking Fluttershy.
I would honestly love to see that.
Yes. I mean, a lot of people didn't really complain about Sonia for being a young to be professor, so there's that. And also, the fact that Sonia and Leon have a relationship.
Oh shit, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, finally, Pokemon is acknowledging the fact that characters can have relationships.
Yay!
I mean, in Sun and Moon, you basically have the professor and his wife. Yeah, Kukui, he has his wife. I was just like, holy moly, they're acknowledging that. They're acknowledging something like that as a thing. Woo!
Better late than never, am I right?
Yes. And also, I guess kind of Sapphire, Ruby, and Emerald. But let's just say they don't really show that much. They just acknowledge it. But anywho's, and also people say, "Oh, this is like an anime." Pokemon was always an anime like game. Seriously, why do you think RPGs are basically that? It's basically like your own version of an anime.
So like, and I would be like, and your point is?
Yeah, including the fact with the battle with the legendary Pokemon, you know, the giant poison dragon type Eternatus.
Shit.
Yeah, it says, "Oh, that's basically just an anime, and you can't lose this." Technically, you can if you're underprepared.
And God knows I know that all too well.
Yes. Keep in mind, I'm not even that part of the game yet. I'm basically making my way over. But yeah, Sword and Shield. I will also pretty much say this. I like the camping thing because you get to see all the Pokemon interact. They hang out and such.
Oh yeah, I love the Pokemon camp. I think it's adorable.
You can actually see their personalities and such.
Yeah, really. And don't get me wrong, I love how you can interact with your Pokemon in Pokemon Sun, but you don't
Yeah.
typically see them doing much. But in Sword and Shield, you can actually see them walking around, having some fun.
Yeah, the animations look great on them.
I know, right?
And
Mhm.
oh, it's actually also good. I also like the cooking mechanic. It makes me think it reminds me I was playing kind of Cooking Mama.
I think
Wonderful. That is it, Mama.
it was
You ever
really
played that or heard of it?
I've heard of it, never played it, but like I think it's absolutely precious that you could actually eat with your Pokemon.
Honestly, I'm not a curry person.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like to think that I'm baking. I'm making not curry.
Yeah.
Come
Same
on,
here.
this isn't frickin' Persona. It's like Joker. I'm not exactly a curry person.
But still, like the cooking mechanic, it is really fun.
And you get to use berries too.
Now I've berry curry. Now I've seen everything.
No. Berries add a little something to it. They have different descriptions of what they do and such, which is why I gather berries and such. It's not bad.
But yeah, like I said before, like the fact that you can actually eat with your Pokemon, I think it's awesome.
It's delicious.
It's deliciously adorable, and I love
And you get ranked for how well you do.
it.
But also, I like how you can literally have people help you get items, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Heck, what's funny is that they I like some of the I like some of the item names. Like you get fried food, you get some sort of salad, you actually get pre-made curry, okay? Bread, just bread, egg. That's sort of there's a lot of recipes. But honestly, that's just good. I like it.
It's just a fun, wholesome time you get to spend with your Pokemon.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't really mind. And I just loved how each of the Pokemon I managed to hang out with and such. They're just really nice. It's especially with the punk like Pokemon, they always want attention. I'm like, seriously, Neon, I get it. It's cool to hang out with you too. It's like, and so it's like, oh, hi, Jasper. Seriously, I feel as though Jasper's a real show stealer. Well, then again, she's always been like that.
Yeah, and honestly, when I got to actually eat with sticks, my starter, it was one of the most wholesome things I've ever seen. And just
Yeah,
being able to play with my Pokemon is just adorable. It just playing fetch with some of them, it's adorable. It's just downright adorable.
I mean, I was doing that with I was doing that with Sharp, my Sobble and such. And when he's a full grown Intellion, oh my gosh, he was a full on gentleman. Beep 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 boop.
Yeah, I felt the same with my Rillaboom sticks.
Yes, that sounds like a food sequence.
Like just being able to actually spend some time with your Pokemon, just playing with them, eating with them. There's just something so wholesome about it.
Yes. And also, you got those holes where you can look for rare types of Pokemon or any a Dynamax caverns and get items and such.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, you gotta be ready for those. And also, um, if you want, you can basically have people help you.
Excuse me.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get the idea.
Oh god. Ooh.
Wow.
Sorry, I was drinking some Coke and I think a little bit of fizz.
It's
You know that
okay.
weird. You know that weird feeling of that. You know that weird feeling that when you drink soda, you burp and like you feel some sort of fizz coming from your nose.
Yeah, that.
Ugh, that was uncomfortable.
Pretty much.
But like, yeah, I think me and Ashley can say that Sword and Shield just offers a lot, and while we don't think that the game is 100% perfect, we love it for for many reasons.
Yeah, it fleshes out characters, different areas to explore. You don't really have to continue the story. You can do it at your own pace.
Yeah. Now, next we're going to
The Legend of Spyro.
yes, my personal favorite. Now, I think that The Legend of Spyro is more of a split issue. There are some that love the game, while others aren't exactly the most crazy about it.
I'm gonna pretty much say this right now. I never really played the trilogy and such, but I did see the cutscenes, and I will admit, looking back on them, my gosh, could they get away with certain things, even with some that are kind of limited. But when
Yeah, I
they
mean,
do show what they are capable of, it makes for an epic experience.
I'll say like I've only made it past Tall Plains, and I had lost my PS2 and the Legends and my game in a when we were moving one year.
Okay, which Legend of Spyro was it exactly?
The Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. I never made it
Oh,
past. I
well,
never.
luckily you have cutscenes to provide you for it.
Oh yeah, and I am so freaking thankful for that because my God, I love the storyline for this game.
I know you wouldn't think something involves um something simple, but when you have something like Legends, you want to tell a story that would be, well, as it's implied, legend. And it works with a dragon character. Because come on, this is basically the whole fantasy approach, and this is basically the only time you get to play as a dragon character that isn't bad.
I know, right? And
And
like,
Battle of Giants Dragons doesn't fully count because you don't know exactly what's going on in that story.
and
Yes, I know you're there, Worlds. I know you're there.
And honestly, I remember playing Battle of the Giants Dragons, and yes, I didn't exactly understand fully the story of the world. I put
I'm thinking of reordering that one because I want to know. I want to pretty much share the experience that people honestly didn't know.
oh my God, that would be like a huge nostalgia trip because I remember playing that.
Yeah, I remember it. I liked it better than dinosaurs. And hey, Jackson!
Yo, what's up?
Hey, hyena!
So, anyways, like we were saying, the
This is a new
Legends,
take on Spyro.
and a lot of people don't exactly like the darker aspects of the game. But to me, that's what makes it so unique. It is a darker take on the story, but
Oh,
it adds a lot of really interesting details that
Cole. Mine is actually Riella. It's basically it's basically just Riella. It's a different picture of him. Also, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well.
welcome. But yeah, like I was saying, I know a lot of people aren't too like keen on the darker aspects, on the darker versions of the story, but to me, that's why I love it. It's a darker twist to it, but it also brings some really interesting details
And
to
honestly,
the
it reminds me a bit of weird parallels to Lord of the Rings almost. I
and
don't
that's
know why, but I guess maybe it's the fantasy setting.
yeah.
All that's missing is the da 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 da
Okay,
da.
Jackman757 says I like Legend of Spyro 1 and 3.
Oh, I think he's talking about the Reunited trilogy. Is that right, Jackson? Because
Yeah,
I know you basically have the game. No, we're
yeah,
basically talking about the Millennia Spyro, the
yeah,
one with the more serious story.
yeah. The Legend of Spyro, you know, A New Beginning, Dawn of the Dragon, The Eternal Night.
Yeah, Eternal Night is the second in the series.
Yeah. And like something else that I can seriously give The Legend of Spyro props for, its main antagonist.
Yeah, for the first two games, you don't really get to see him, but you get to hear the story about him, what he was like, and what made him go down the pathway of, well, evil and such.
Yeah, and during the last few minutes of the game, we actually get to see the main antagonist that we've been hearing so much about. And
it was not a disappointment at all.
The guy really knows how to make an appearance.
Not to mention he was voiced by Mark Campbell.
But like you just when you finally see him, he's this dark, brooding, malicious dragon. And honestly, he pulls it off so well.
You can make an evil dragon character, but it needs to have some sort of reason as to why this one is evil. Like, you can't just say, oh, it was born evil. No, that won't basically get you anywhere.
Yeah, like, there has to be some sort of reason as to why. That's the kind of villains I like to see. Why did they fall so far from grace? Why did they go down this darkened path? And not to mention the scene where Spyro and Cinder are actually talking to him, you could just hear his dark, distorted voice, and it's beautiful. And not to mention, like, when he's literally twisting Spyro and Cinder's words around, he is a force. He is a manipulative person.
Hang on, let me get a picture of him.
Let me tell you something. This guy is fucking terrifying. And I highly doubt I'd ever make it that far, and I'd probably die a couple of times. And I would just be like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I can't defeat this bastard. I'm sorry, everyone.
Okay. I got it. I got him.
Yeah.
Here he is.
Yep, that's Malefor. That's the Dark Master we've been hearing so much about from the past few games.
The appearance says it all.
I mean, look at this guy. He's a fucking beast. The darker purple scales, the many sharp, rigid spikes he has. This guy's terrifying.
I feel as though this guy would get along well with T-Rex.
I would not be surprised And yes, Elijah Wood did absolutely amazing with Spyro.
It is Lord of the Rings! And the fact that Spyro's a midget is actually pretty funny.
But seriously, like, when you finally get to see this guy, the build up for him really doesn't disappoint. And even those little scenes that we were told by the chronicler in the Eternal Night, you could just tell he's a malicious force to be reckoned with, and he has caused so much damage.
Yeah, but let's just say with Skylanders and such, it went a little differently. He looks cool, but the motives behind this guy is just, I'm sorry, man, but what did they do to you?
Yeah, really. Like, and I don't making him Cinder's father, that is the worst route you could take.
All I can pretty much say is there will be no Taco Tuesday!
Seriously,
really?
Why?
I get it. I get it. It's a cartoon and such. And people wouldn't honestly get this guy, but
I could never cringe so bad when I heard you don't expect something like him to say something like that. I have never cringed so hard in my life. I can literally feel my own face caving in.
Yeah, especially, and also.
Also, hi Ichigo senpai. Welcome to the stream.
Oh, what?
Yay.
Oh, thanks.
And can I just also say that, like, the guy who did Malifor's voice did him beautifully.
Yes,
Ugh, fuck.
indeed.
And not to mention, and in my opinion, both Elijah Wood and Gary Oldman, and for all who are unaware, Gary Oldman is actually the voice actor for Ignitus. They
Yeah.
they both did amazing jobs with the
Yeah,
characters that they
even
were.
for the new beginning, you can tell they know which character they're playing as and what they are basically doing with the characters to make them more believable.
Like, Ignitus is basically portrayed as this wise wise elder dragon who holds a lot of resentment and regret over the choices he made. And
Ba-
honestly, Gary and honestly, he's portrayed, you can see that beautifully in him.
yeah, and by the third game, let's just say Chelsea here, she basically broke down after what happened, and I don't blame her.
It was one of the saddest moments I've ever seen, cuz like, even though it was only 2 games that we got, it was only 2.5, 3 games that we actually got to know about him. I felt honestly attached to this sweet old dragon.
And well, let's be honest here. And also, here's the thing: Spyro is not a Gary Stu character. He actually cared. He actually showed emotion, something that Sonic never shows nowadays. I'm sorry, Sonic, but you got beaten by a dragon.
Exactly. Like, when Ignitus sacrificed himself with the Belt of Fire, you could tell how upset he
Yeah.
was.
Ignitus! No!
I broke down. I was always a bit of a lightweight with tearjerker scenes. And that really wasn't any and that really was and that just made it even harder, since we literally from day one we saw these two, their relationship starting to blossom into something truly beautiful.
And also,
Ignitus,
yeah, they do change Sparks' voice actor.
but we're not talking about Sparks at the moment, so everybody.
Yeah.
But like, Ignitus
Oh,
was the one dragon who actually taught him everything about his past, what he is, what he's meant to do. He was there from the beginning.
oh, and keep in mind, it wasn't pressured. Ignitus never pressured Spyro.
And honestly, for me, that's what made his sacrifice the more heartbreaking. Because we literally saw him from the beginning. And honestly, it broke my heart seeing that.
Yeah,
And just
but
see,
by the end of the game, he got to become the new chronicler, and
and
it was
this
like
little bit of
good for him.
and I just wish that wherever he's that with this new look, with this new role, I hope he can find peace.
I'm pretty sure he has.
Well, that's all anyone could really ask for, because and the one thing he said to Spyro and Cinder before he did it, I've never done right by either of you. That broke my heart. You could
Oh.
you could tell that he still holds some regret over what happened. And
Oh,
honest and
yeah.
when Malifor turns Cinder temporarily dark, and Spyro saying that one sentence that just
Because you left nothing left to fight for.
that just that's another reason I love this. I love the trilogy.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to put your characters through vulnerable positions, such as Spyro right there.
Exactly. Like, in a matter of a few days, he managed to lose so much. And the biggest blow was losing Ignitus. He was there with Spyro from the beginning. He taught him everything, and just seeing him go like that must have been absolutely devastating.
Yeah, and
And yes,
he refused to fight Cinder because, well, it's the fact that he went through a lot. He just can't bear himself to do that.
exactly. And not to mention, he was the only one to actually give Cinder a chance because he knew that it really wasn't her fault. It was Malifaux. And yes, Jackman, the ending song for The Eternal Night and
Dawn of the Dragon. Yeah.
those were absolutely beautiful.
I'm gonna put the names of the song in the chat so you guys can check them out for yourself.
Yes, This Broken Soul, and I've actually looked this up. Apparently, it's not supposed to be about Spyro and Cinder. It's for Spyro and Ignitus.
There you go. You guys can
Yes.
look them up for yourselves and listen.
Those were some of the best. Those are some of the most beautifully creative songs that I've ever heard from a video game.
Even an instrumental version, they're also really nice.
There's just something This Broken Soul. It was one of the saddest but most beautiful ballad I've heard.
I actually learned about those songs by the Spyro comic. It's with that red dragoness.
Oh yeah, Shalon SK's
yeah
comic, and her name is Zonia, by the way.
Yeah, Zonia.
And might I just say, go on a bit of our thing.
For a fan Spyro comic, I think it was pretty good.
I thought it was done beautifully. And
yeah.
The panel and the parts where after all these years, Spyro literally reunited with Ignitus. You could just see the tears in his eyes, and god damn it, now I'm starting to choke up.
It's okay.
Oh man, I'm sorry. That really hit the feels, man. Like,
yeah, it's okay.
Just that one panel of him looking in disbelief, tears streaming from his face. You can tell how much he really missed him.
Yeah.
Jackman, you could probably find him on YouTube.
I think he means the comic.
Oh, DA.
Anywho's, back to the thing.
Yeah.
She's just summing up the story as best she could, better than I could.
Well, you're more invested in the world of Knights, I'm more invested in the Legend of Spyro, so...
Even though, ironically enough, both have a similar feel to it.
True. But honestly, that's why I know I've said this several times, but I'm gonna say it again to drive the point home. I love the darker aspects of the Legend of Spyro. I think it has an interesting and beautiful storyline, and the gut punches and the feels. It does have the feels, and my god, it's portrayed beautifully. The game really makes you feel for these characters. And honestly, even just watching the cutscenes, it makes you feel like you're a part of this world. This broken world where everyone is fighting just to stay alive.
Yeah.
Oh, and a little fun fact, I actually found the Spyro wiki. Cyril, the Ice Guardian, was originally going to be a female water dragon. Ain't that some shit?
That's some interesting trivia.
Yep, and I'm gonna go on a little bit of a thing here again.
Go ahead.
I kind of did something. I've actually found that bit of info really interesting that I decided to make a sister for Cyril in my own story, who, get this, is a female water dragon.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, when you think about it, there aren't really that many female characters in the trilogy and such.
Well, at least we got Cinder, and honestly, I'm happy about that.
But I wish there was a little more.
Yeah, true. But we can at least be thankful we at least got something.
Oh.
Ichigo Senpai, yeah, I love the game. Preach it, honey! Preach it!
Ha!
But and on the topic of Cinder, I think that not only her design is very appealing, but her backstory.
Yeah.
And
Though it is kind of weird how in Dawn of the Dragon she's a bit kind of a slight purplish, even though she's supposed to be a black dragon.
I like that actually. I love the first and third of the Legend of Spyro games. Yes, they are absolutely amazing. And like, okay, I'll just say this. I love all three games. Each one has their own unique little spin-offs, their own little unique
and
character
of course there are different type of species of creatures that are in that series.
The Manwhar-Smalls, the Atlawa, they all just they're very, very interesting. And not to mention the apes. Granted, I think the apes are about as fucking annoying, but I can at least give them credit for that, and not to mention the Dreadwings, the Frogweeds.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in that whole thing was just unique, and I wanted to learn more.
Oh, and can I pretty much just say that I find that version of Hunter actually is way more better and charming compared to the one from the original series.
Yeah, I could totally say that. And not to mention we actually see that there's others like him.
Yeah.
The Cheetah Clan of Avalar are such a unique civilization. And honestly, their chief Prowess, I can understand why he has such a disdain for dragons. Malfort.
Yeah, it actually makes the whole this somewhat cautious and suspicious attitudes to Spyro and Cinder a little more understanding.
Am I saying what he did was right? No, but I can at least understand where he's coming from.
But Spyro and Cinder prove that they can be trusted.
Especially Cinder in this case, and I'm just gonna point this out right now. I do understand why people blame Cinder for the destruction.
It wasn't entirely her fault, okay? She didn't have a choice.
I don't think it even is her fault. It was mostly Malefor who put her through all that. She was not but a mere baby when it all happened.
Mm-hmm.
She was basically stolen from the temple's hatchery by these demented apes who wanted to use her as their own sort of bioweapon.
Oh, you want to know something? That's the equivalent of humans.
Unfortunately. But still, like it's just really, really sad, and it shows that yes, everyone has I just wish, and honestly, I can't speak today because my tongue and my brain don't want to work together. I'm sorry, everyone.
It's okay.
Yeah, and Ichigo Senpai says, "Yeah, we see more emotions." That's what I also love about that, the emotions.
It's something that most games don't really have nowadays.
You see fear, anger, happiness, like even doubt, disappointment, hopefulness, determination. It has so many. The characters portray so much emotion. And honestly, that makes it really, really interesting because, let's face it, a video game character is only as good as its emotions. Not just story, but you have to make sure. But what I like to see is making them relatable in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention like emotion. That's what I love to see.
Yeah.
And not just in the facial expressions, but in the tones of their voices.
Yeah.
And Jackman5757 says, I like the joke in the third game. They joke about voice Spark's voice keeps changing. Yes, I'll admit that is pretty funny. And while I
Yep.
understand a lot of people don't exactly like Sparks, am and I'm personally not the biggest fan, but I'm glad he's there. He gives a sort of comic relief because to me, if it's you can't keep things 100% serious all the time. Besides, Sparks is portrayed as that annoying brother that likes to make little jabs and jokes, and I think it's portrayed really, really well. And Ichiko Senpai says, "It's amazing. I love it. I play this game over and over, and I never get bored of it. It is so nicely done." And I couldn't agree with you more, Ichigo. I think The Legend of Spyro, to me, it's a beautiful game that has a lot of emotion, feelings, action, and heart in it.
Well, aside from its strengths, there are indeed going to be some weak points. Like, there's probably some flying sessions that could be a little tricky to maneuver, or sometimes the battle mechanic can actually kind of, well, be kind of an issue.
Yeah,
Or with some of the puzzles and such.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's like 100% perfect, but to me, it's perfect in its own way. It's still a beautifully unique game, and I'm glad it exists.
Oh, and can we pretty much say that the music?
Uh, the music. Where do I start with the freaking music? The
Hello, TJ. Welcome.
The music score for the Legend of Spyro trilogy is beautiful.
I haven't heard it in a while, but
Same.
from what I can recall is that yeah, it definitely took me by surprise.
Like, color me freaking impressed, Sierra Entertainment. You did amazing jobs.
Also, I like how basically Spyro and Cinder have their own abilities that they make use of.
Yeah, like, and I find Cinder's elements in Dawn of the Dragon extremely interesting because
And also, they're kind of broken in a way.
true. But honestly, that's what I like about that. I mean,
and if there is something that they get kind of carried over to us Skylanders is that you can find treasures and get yourself equipment to actually, well, you dress up in costumes is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, I do like the armors that are available for you to get in The Legend of Spyro in the Dawn of the Dragon game.
It makes them look cool.
Yes. And and can I just say one more thing? Like,
yes.
Near the end, when Spyro is using his powers to bring the world back together, Cinder saying "I love you" to him. Oh my god, my heart burst out of my chest and did a backflip several times around the floor.
And the thing is, it wasn't forced, but it was kind of hinted at and foreshadowed.
Yeah, like, I love, and honestly, I think they would make a really adorable couple because they've been through a lot together, and to me, their relationship had time to grow.
Oh, and let's be honest here, it actually does better than with certain things in MLP. Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, if you're referring to like Shining Armor and Cadence, if I could just go off topic for a moment.
Go ahead.
Now, I know a lot of people in the MLP community find that Cadence and Shining Armor were just put in there for plot convenience. But honestly, I actually like Cadence and Shining Armor. Granted, we don't know that much about them.
But the moments we do see them,
I
give
think
props.
Yeah, really. I do find, and let's face it, to me, we still don't exactly know that much about Twilight's personal life. So the fact that she had a brother, I actually thought was an interesting twist.
Yeah. I know you'll get there.
We have hope for you. But yeah, the third game definitely has a lot going
Also,
for it.
I'm gonna be clear here. Yes, Sparks can be kind of annoying, but when you think about it, he's technically like he's basically that brother who would get on your nerves, but you know that they care about you and you care about them.
Yeah, and
And
like I
let's be
said,
honest here, Sparks is loyal to Spyro.
yeah, like even after that little fight they had before Spyro left, he wasn't going to just leave him out like that.
Yeah.
Well, I do understand why people. While I'm not 100% on Sparks for my own reasons. I'm glad he's at least there, and I'm
Yeah,
glad he.
plus it's kind of weird how in the original series Sparks only talked with the whole he's not a
Yeah,
bee, guys.
yeah.
He's supposed to be a dragonfly.
I don't even understand that. And I've actually played Enter the Dragonfly, and that had to be one of the more weaker games. Looking back at
Yep.
it now,
Especially how stretchy the characters looked.
yeah, that was kind of unsettling, and not to mention Ripto's horn moved. Like
Ugh.
that was just very unsettling.
Yes. I mean, it's not like Crash where the stretchiness makes more sense because that's way more cartoony and out there.
But like don't do something like that in a game for with like a dragon unless there's like unless you do it right, which Enter the Dragonfly did not. And having some parts move to be like that, like Ripto's horn, it just kind of
Yeah,
weirded
it's just
me out.
hey, you know what that kind of sounds like? The bite of that Twilight she got hit with a poison joke and her horn
Yeah.
was like that too.
Yeah, but like with that, there was a reason. For Ripto's horn, there was no reason for that damn thing to be wiggling about. And for all of you who are
Aw.
watching this are thinking of something that I think you're thinking of, because honestly my mind's going there, but whatever. Get your head down the gutter.
Yeah. Okay. So are we good with the Spyro and such?
Yeah,
Are
we're
we
good.
good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Now this is basically gonna fall into the category of that. The reason why we decided on the stream is because I brought up two games that kind of have a similar issue, mainly with the masses and such. It's not just Pokemon, but also Balan.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, Balan, basically, it's getting the treatment like Journey of Dreams. It's just like, it's not what it's expected. It's not a Sonic game. This isn't the Sonic game I wanted, etc., etc.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not supposed to be a Sonic game.
Yes. In fact, it's more of that and Billy Hatcher, another game that was basically developed by the person who made, well, Knights and Sonic. In fact, the costumes could be an homage to Billy Hatcher.
Knights is a completely different story and character.
If anything, Knights had a bit more compelling story compared to Sonic. I mean, let's go over how this is. While Sonic is just trying to stop an evil fat scientist who's using animals and putting them in the robots and trying to conquer the world, you basically have Knight who used to work for Wiseman but rebelled and is considered the Dream's guardian. And a guardian has to be considered powerful in their own way, and Knights is a first level.
And honestly, when Ashley showed me the cutscene, the basically the theater mode for Journey of Dreams, I've actually seen Wiseman.
Yeah.
And just like Malifor, this guy's terrifying.
And I mentioned with the with our top 5 sides of villains. And yes, Wiseman is indeed something you cannot reason with. He is out of the he's out of the morals of humanity. He was once human, but now he's become something else. Something dark and sinister. You can't reason with it. There's no sense if it will show mercy or not. It just wants to rule, but in its own imagery.
And that's kind of the same thing with Malefor, like we brought up. You can't reason with this guy. He's looking. He wants that power, and he wants it all. He doesn't care what he has to do to get
Yeah.
it.
And kind of like with Cinder, Riella gets that treatment too. But he has no choice. He can't leave. There's no sense. He has willpower of his own, but Riella is just too afraid. He can't leave.
And with a being like Wiseman, I can understand why it would be very hard for him to leave and why he's so afraid of him.
Yeah, but outside of Nightmare, he does his own thing. Yes, he's doing horrible things, but not to a point where, oh, I don't know, he's eliminating Nightmarens. Yeah, seriously, even when Riella sees this, he's trembling. He doesn't want to look. His own kin gets slaughtered by the very being who creates them. And Riella is scared that would be him one day. Wiseman, he calls him something like worthless.
Not only is Wiseman emotionally abusive, but also not only is he physically abusive to everyone, but emotionally abusive.
Yeah, and when in Will's story, when you first enter the third dream world, Riella has a conversation with Knights, and in the tone, he's not manipulating Knights at all, but rather it's a desperate attempt to try and get Knights to be reasoned with. He doesn't want to face that wrath. He's scared deep down, but he doesn't want to. He's not fully showing it because he thinks Knights wouldn't take him seriously. And Knights, well, Knights has his own reasons too, but Knights is also equally stubborn. Then again, they're siblings, so that's basically that.
True.
But here's the thing. I think Knights and Riella's relationship actually and their rivalship works way better than Sonic and Shadows. Because there's a bit more edge to them. There's a bit more conflict.
And for everyone who thinks that Riella is like Shadow, no, he's not.
Riella has a bit more status. He's got more class to him, and in fact, he's got more manners to him if you actually pay attention.
And honestly, to me, Shadow is just like this edge lord.
Yeah, nowadays he is because Sega and such and what fans are doing. Ugh.
Like,
and also Sonic is not even better. You know, you gotta give credit to Knights here. At least they have a character that basically suits them and it works.
Exactly.
Journey of Dreams had a bit more story to it, which I really do like. It actually tackles a little more serious topics. Unlike in the original, where it's a bit more conquesting problems for themselves, such as like, oh, Elliot losing a basketball game to older kids. It's like, dude, you get it. Suck it up. And then you have Claire's, which I can understand, stage fright and such. I'm basically that too.
Same.
But with Helen and Will, they kind of have a bit more to it. Like Will, he basically is too reliant on his dad that he's not sure if he could pretty much trust others. And plus, his dad goes on business trips a lot, while Helen is shaking off her responsibilities to hang out with her friends rather than practice with her mom, which she loves to play violin, but you know, it's basically more complicated. And keep in mind, these are 12-year-olds, not teenagers, but 12-year-olds.
Exactly. And while it's been a while since I've seen the cutscenes for Journey of Dreams, I do remember those parts.
Yeah.
And honestly, not just that, but they're more realistic.
Not to mention, Will has more physical attacks that basically come to him. Like, oh, I don't know, Riella basically attempting to kidnap him, or at least steal his Idia, holding him above the frickin' desert. Okay, it's not super high up, but it is enough to actually cause some sort of threat.
Yeah.
And with Helen, it's been more manipulation, emotional.
Yeah, and honestly, to me, I think Riella's manipulation, I think, works a lot better because you can just hear his voice. The tone of his voice, he's literally telling Helen something that it makes him sound like he isn't wrong. While he isn't, he's putting it in a way that would paint Knights as the bad guy. That's some top tier manipulation tactic there.
Yeah, and that's something that. Okay, the only other villain who basically would attempt that is Mephiles from the Sonic series, but that's only a one-time thing. I'm gonna say this right now: no other villain in the Sonic series could match up to what these guys do. It just shows that Nightmares are a lot more skilled in what they do.
And not to mention, Riella's manipulation tactic reminds me of how he did that with Cinder and Spyro.
Yeah, Malefor.
Yeah.
But yeah, how else do you think Riella got those skills exactly? Ding, ding, ding!
Also, welcome back, Ichigo.
Yeah, I'm also gonna say this right now. I really like how the sceneries look, and I mean, for Wii standards, yes, I know it's not the most polished, but it still looks really nice. And the music is it's just ear candy.
It's like a feast for your ears. It's just perfect.
Yes, including Dream Streams.
And going back to landscapes for a moment, like the scenery for all the Legend of Spyro trilogy, it's absolutely amazing.
They're very lively.
Oh yeah, and not to mention in the third game, we get to see the Dragon City of Warfang. My God, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's the first time we actually see something like that.
And just everything. It's just a beautiful, beautiful place. There's these shining gold pillars and runes everywhere. It's just it's eye candy. It's pure, sweet, chef's kiss eye candy, and I can't get enough of it.
Yes. It gets the Gordon Ramsay seal of approval. Because you'd say it's a dish.
Shut up. Anyways.
Yeah, but and also a lot of people really are mixed on the characters. Like they're not really too fond of the kid characters. Look, guys, these are kids, and and they are voiced by kid actors. Of course, they basically were They were basically not given too much direction and such. And plus, this was an early Wii game.
Hey, Ad.
Hello. Oh my God, should we bring him on board?
I don't know. You wanna?
Edward, you want to come in? We're just we're still on the topic of Knights here. Just want to know if you want to be part of this. Yeah, come on, work.
He's not sure.
Okay, I just sent the link.
Hop in whenever you're ready, Eddie.
Yes.
Ready, Eddie. I made a rhyme.
Yeah, okay, as we're going to be talking about characters now, we mentioned about the kids.
Yeah. Hey, Eddie.
No. Yeah, we were basically just talking about the characters of Knights now. We already went a bit over with the kids and already explained a bit.
Okay.
look, I can understand. I'm not a fan of Helen and such, but you can't deny the fact that she is technically kind of in a vulnerable state in certain ways.
True.
Plus, let's be honest here, Riella did frighten her. He came right out of nowhere and just ambushed knights.
Of course, a kid would be startled by something. Anyone could be startled.
Yeah, and what is basically frightening to a young kid? Clowns, or at least in the category. And Riella's a jester, which can be also terrifying, and his appearance also complements that.
True.
Riella looks intimidating. He looks threatening. He's of major danger. And not to mention, a first level, the most dangerous of the Nightmare ranks.
True.
Knights, he basically he did not expect that. He was ambushed. And yes, I'm referring to Knights as a he, even though it's clearly stated obvious, Knights is genderless.
Honestly, I always sort of saw Knights as a dude.
It's fine, because I practically showed you.
True.
Now, Owl. Let's be honest. I'm going to be honest here. I didn't mind Owl at all too much. Yes, he did scare her. Riella did do that. But yeah, Owl, I'm going to say this right now. I find him way less annoying compared to Omochao, who's just a freaking robot who won't shut up. It's like, hey, Fi, I think you found your little robotic pet. From Skyward Sword, Legend of Zelda game.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
I never thought I'd make that comparison.
You know, I just realized I forgot to mention the other characters in Legend of Spyro. We'll do that after this.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, Owl, yes, he's your tutorial character and such, but he's not that annoying. I mean, yes, you got to do tutorial twice, but hey, at least you get to hear some really nice music.
True.
And when you look at Owl and such, he's not technically mean per se. He's just trying to make sure that Knights doesn't get too out of hands. I mean, basically, you got to put up with someone who's basically this energetic and this unpredictable.
True.
Owl can pretty much tolerate Knights from time to time. And yes, while Knights does tease Owl at times, but they both have an understanding, and I like to think that Owl is like a somewhat father figure to Knights. Yeah. I mean, think about it. Knights is on his own. He didn't have any other family.
I could see that.
Plus, let's be honest here. Owl basically is that nice elder teacher who pretty much wants to help and such, but you guys aren't going to give him that chance because, what's he going to do? He's not really. But when you actually pay attention to what he's saying and such, and what he's saying, it's not entirely wrong. It's more of what you choose. Seriously, Owl, he would basically be that type who would read you a bedtime story, and he wouldn't be that boring. Literally. Oh, and here's the thing. Owl is voiced by the person who does E123 Omega.
I have no idea who that is.
From the Sonic series, he's the giant robot.
Big robot that basically.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta remember, I haven't played any of the games, nor have I really watched the show.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't mean to. Basically, to sum it up, it's almost like a killing machine.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that used to be one of Eggman's robots before going rogue.
Yeah.
And okay, as for the two Nightmare voice actors, let's just say a lot of people very much they basically didn't really like Knights' voice for some reason. I mean, how else are you going to get a character to sound androgynous? What the heck am I hearing?
The hell is that?
I don't know.
That was weird. But yeah, what do you guys think of Knights' voice?
Well, it fits.
I think it fits really well because honestly, it sounds like a young child.
That's what they were going for.
Yeah, I like that because let's face it, children's voices can be pretty androgynous on their own. So
Mhm.
I think having his voice like that really kind of fits since he's portrayed to be this genderless entity.
Yeah, and also Knights isn't really out to get the kids. Rather, he's just there to well have fun and such, but also help defend it when it's needed.
True.
All right, Ichigo, having a good night, honey.
And well, we could be pretty clear here that Knights is actually pretty complex when you actually get down to it. Knights has a lot of background that isn't fully explored, but that's the mystery of it. In fact, when Knights actually didn't deny of what he was, it makes you wonder what kind of things did he do when he was working with Wise Man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, could it have been as bad as reality was letting on? That just
And
makes you wonder.
there's also something in the Legend of Spyro fandom that a lot of people are kind of up in arms over.
Yeah.
Is Ignitus Spyro's father?
Look, we don't fully know that.
Well, I know that, but I'm just gonna say my piece on that.
Go ahead.
Well, I do find it kind of an interesting idea that Ignitus is actually Spyro's biological father. I'm I'm more or less in the middle. I mean, it sounds like a cool idea, but I'm not sure if I personally would find a way to put that in.
Yeah.
Now, it's more or less the fact that I have no idea how. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not a really cool idea to think about, and there could be some possible clues
Yeah.
as to maybe yes he is, yes he's not, no he's not. But you know what? I'm gonna leave that up to people who are more able to write out something like that better than I could.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here. And going back to the point, I would say is, geez, despite how many years it's been and such, I still say Knight still has a bit more emotions to share compared to Sonic, who really doesn't show that much nowadays.
Yeah, it's just always a cool guy attitude.
Yeah,
Even though he had a lot.
who sometimes turns into a flat out douchebag. Oh
Yeah,
wait, that's Boom.
I don't
But
know.
the Boom Sonic personality seems to warp its way into the modern Sonic.
Yeah, I guess as of late, before then they were kind of like, well, doing this because they kind of seem like a guy that I don't know. Basically, nobody really knows what they're doing there anymore. Sega doesn't
And
really know what
also, let's just say with Forces, let's just say
they're binge.
it was a mess. It's like it was just a mess. And also, having Sonic be the main thing that you guys need to keep, that you guys basically need to help fight. That's kind of lazy. It's kind of lame if you ask me.
Basically, basically the whole game's plot line was basically felt like an overly rushed fan fiction.
Exactly, and thanks to Ian Flynn, who basically provided the, shall we say, beta script.
Of course.
Good. No, 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 no. And Johnny, no, we don't want Ian Flynn writing for the games. I'm sorry, that's just a little tangent, but yeah, Knights basically has a bit more emotion, and they actually feel and they feel genuine. They feel legit. Proper reaction, proper response. Either they are non-threatening, or when you're confronting your counterpart sibling, or your godlike father.
Yeah,
You see what I mean?
Yes.
Seriously, and when Knights was actually getting zapped by Wiseman, there's a lot of that. You could definitely feel that pain. It's just and oh, and it's something similar. Sonic gets stabbed through the chest by Mephiles, and he dies. But with Knights, he got blasted by a god, and he's just unconscious. He's not dead. I guess you could say nightmares are a little more durable than Mobians.
Of course.
I can see that.
And honestly, when Wiseman's going on this monologue and such, one of Nice's lines is like, "Shut up, Wiseman!"
Of course.
Yeah, seriously.
Seriously, that's the one thing. You ever say that to someone, to something like Wiseman? That's an instant death sentence.
Yes.
Of course.
Now, here's the thing. I will pretty much take Knights actually standing up to a much bigger threat more than Sonic, because let's be honest, what Sonic was facing is just a normal Saturday for them.
The stakes are not there anymore. It's like, of course, they create, but yeah, it's just overdone.
Yes.
Or should I say it's basically formulaic.
Yes.
Rinse, repeat, over and over and over again. All the games now feel the same.
Yes. Anywho's.
All the stories feel the same.
And Nice's voice actors, from what I basically looked up, apparently they were also on the game Skies of Arcadia. Yeah, I basically looked it up and was like, oh, that's interesting. And then you have Riala, who is a real show stealer. Seriously, with his performance, it was definitely a steal.
Yeah.
No question here.
It works. And also, the voice actor went to play Caliburn, the sword from Sonic and the Black Knight. So basically, Riala was helping Sonic, which gave the idea that basically of the Sonic and Knights crossover idea.
Yeah. if I can basically sum up the problems with the games nowadays, it doesn't just reflect onto Sonic completely. Almost every game now series seems to have lazy writing, and it's very rare do we ever see games or media or things that actually have a depth of care put into them. They're just my French, but half-assed.
So basically, it went from birthday cake to vanilla.
It's more like just plain. No, it's just plain, utterly just bland. Can't be.
That's what I was trying to say.
Guys, you want to know what this means? It's a bag of disappointment from FNAF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the VR. From the VR game. But yeah, I guess say Journey of Dreams. I think a lot of people's like, oh, it's not the original. Well, if it was like the original, you would complain about that too.
All you ever do is find something tiny, insignificant, and extremely petty to just complain about, because that's all you want to do.
I have seen reviews, and they are not too kind to the Purple Jester.
Everyone's gonna find something to complain about.
I'll say this right now. I have played the original, but I will have to say it has its faults too. Mainly, the lack of big story, even though it's clearly in the manual and such. But there really isn't much, especially with characters you can actually get attached to or something. Like, there's nothing about that. It's just there. And also, the kids are also. Let's just be honest here. The two kids, they're the least interesting. I'm more interested in what goes on in the dream world, actually, because come on, we've seen humans interact with certain creatures before, Monster Hunter, but they're not really that interesting. If you can't write interesting characters, then why bother at all?
Yeah,
I understand the symbolism and the meaning behind it, but still.
Yeah,
I understand it was a 90s game, but still.
Yeah, it's like sometimes less is more.
And also,
I mean, it doesn't always. I mean, you can't really say that if they're. I mean, yes, I can understand the less is more thing, but there has to be something there.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you need a different perspective on things. Like you need like kind of like people usually these writers seem to only surround themselves with people that think exactly.
Okay. Can I say this clearly?
Go ahead.
People honestly see Knights as Sonic, but in the air. When in actuality, I see more Knights as like Peter Pan, because that's a bit more the inspiration.
I can totally see that.
I mean, the attitude slightly, except not a big jerk.
Basically, an
Nice
arrogant
King.
kid.
Nice can kind of be a jerk, but not a big one. He doesn't mean to.
Yeah. And when you're done, Ashley, there's some things I want to say.
Okay. And also, I'm gonna be honest. Let's just say that the camera, it's a little too close tonight. I mean, I understand the software and such, but at least Journey Entry is actually panning that out so you can see. Go ahead.
Okay, this was actually something I forgot to bring up before, so I apologize for that.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically, how Ashley had talked about some of the characters in Knight's Journey of Dreams. There are some characters that I forgot to mention during my bit.
Oh, while you're doing that, I'm gonna quickly use the restroom.
No problem.
Okay.
Basically, I just want a moment to talk about the Guardians, and not just Ignitus, but the other three, Terrador, Cyril, and Voltaire. And honestly, my personal opinion on them is that I find them extremely entertaining. Now, let's start with the first Guardian we rescue, Voltaire. Voltaire is, to put it blankly, a chatterbox, but he's just this very knowledgeable and bright, energetic individual. He's someone you can hold a conversation with. And God knows, knowing how much this guy likes to talk, it's pretty easy to see why. And honestly, I just love how just happy he is. He's just very positive.
I guess you say he gives off positive energy.
Ha ha ha, very funny.
Yeah, I know.
And not to mention and and not to mention, I find this guy absolutely adorable. And also he has a problem where he gets to the point where he's basically talking so much he literally gets choked on his own words. And honestly, his interactions with the other Guardians is possibly some of the funniest dialogue I've ever heard, especially with the Ice Guardian Cyril. I find their little banter is absolutely hilarious. And what I find kind of, well, sad, and I can understand this due to timing mostly, that in Dawn of the Dragon, we don't get to hear Cyril or Voltaire talk at all. You get like maybe one line, and that was it. And I actually heard that there was supposed to be a scene where Cyril and Voltaire were arguing, but they had to cut it out due to time. That I understand, but still, I would have loved to see that. And our talkative nerd here likes to use very big words and various sentences, which I think is just, even the wiki says like he was swallowed a thesaurus, which I can totally freaking see. And let's not forget his design. I think the Guardians' designs really showcase their elements rather well, with a unique twist to them. And none portray that better than my personal favorite Guardian, Cyril the Ice Guardian. Cyril definitely has a very unique presence to him. He is played by someone named what was his hold on, I literally gotta look up his freaking
Okay, take your time.
Girl's voice actor again.
Okay, take your time.
What was it? Fuck. Jeff Bennett. Okay, can I just say, like, Jeff Bennett, along with Elijah Wood and Gary Oldman, did absolutely amazing with the voice acting. And serious kudos to Voltaire's voice actor. And honestly, Cyril just has this very entitled, snobbish,
Basically,
almost
basically a feeling of superiority.
exactly. And honestly, when I first heard Cyril talking, he sounded like one of those very proper English gentlemen. And I laughed so hard I was on the verge of pissing myself because, oh my god, I found that hysterical.
Hmm.
And let's not forget another reason why I love this guy. His design. My god, Cyril just has a very pretty design. And maybe it's just because I'm biased and I'm being, I'm gonna try and maybe I'm just being a bit biased here because personally I love that kind of design and color palette that Cyril has. But he's just very pretty. And the last of the Guardians that we get to talk about in this small portion is Terrador, the Earth Guardian.
Hmm.
Terrador is presented as this very militant dragon who has this very gruff, deep voice. And Kevin Michael Richardson, the voice actor for Terrador, portrayed that beautifully. And not just that, but his design alone just shows us that this guy's been in some pretty damn brutal fights due to the many scratches that are on his chest plates.
Scars and wounds, old wounds,
Yep.
and personality-wise, it's showing that there's some wounds that never truly healed.
I mean, Terrador was I can totally see Terrador as this general, this hardened war veteran who's been in his fair share of fights. He
Seen
does
many friends at battle dying before him, and yet can't seem to still having bad memories of the past and the horrors of war.
I could totally see that. And honestly, just his overall design is a lot different than the others. While Cyril's more slim and more pristine, Terrador is much more bulkier. He's more heavy set, and honestly, I think that fits his element absolutely beautifully.
Of
Because
course,
he is built like a fucking tank. And he literally has a mace for a tail. Like, this, you can see this guy seriously kicking some hard ass on the battlefield.
yep.
And he even stated on his wiki page that while he knows when to retreat, he does not approve of cowardice. He is someone who will fight, who knows how to fight and will fight, but knows when it's become too much and will retreat if necessary. He's not the kind of dragon to just run away when everything gets too hard.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello.
Sorry, I was just grabbing something to eat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I was just talking to everybody about my opinion on the Guardians. Do you have anything you want to add about them?
Well, I like how they're uniquely designed and just how they look, and well, their abilities and personalities, they match really well, but it's not in a way it's a stereotype, but rather it actually works.
I know, right? Like I was just going over why I like each of the Guardians. Not just in like design, but in like
Also, if a
personality.
giant cruster comes away, that's on me.
Oh. And Terrador says his hugs for Terrador, and yes, he does. Big Earth boy deserves hugs. Trinket, stop.
Who would totally be a farm boy if he were to help Applejack.
God, like imagine him trying to buck apples and hey Jacob.
Oh, well, this is a surprise.
Yeah, really. Okay, so like
So, what did I miss?
Well, I was just talking about the Guardians and like
Well, I heard some of the Terrador stuff, but
Yeah, we're just Yeah, this is more of games people will honestly hate, and we're trying to give our reasons and such, and we're kind of going a little off topic.
Yeah, but then again,
and-
what stream hasn't?
Well, I do have some things I do hate in some games, even ones I like though.
That's fair enough.
We all have that, and also actually sorry I missed your Q&A yesterday. I was
It's alright,
eating
it's
dinner.
alright.
So, like, okay, since we're all here, I kind of want to go over some of the things, like, from Cyril and Voltaire, mostly.
Yeah,
since,
go ahead.
like I said before, I find Voltaire's character just extremely adorable. He's just this fun, hilarious dude, and I could see him honestly being like a teacher, like almost like a tour guide for the many history and lore of the dragon realms.
Hmm.
And he would make it interesting far better than most tourists.
Yes.
I think that's an interesting idea, Chelsea.
And why am I seeing him with like Chilton style glasses? And yes, I'm calling them Chilton style.
Chilton glasses.
Let's face it, giant floopy ice boy can pull them off.
Like a Dumbledore.
Yes, I don't know why I'm just seeing him with those kind of glasses. I think that'd be freaking adorable.
Wait, Dumbledore Chilton.
Oh no.
As I thought about it, like, you just basically get the teacher talking, and basically just say like, we just have to get him talking, and just go for the whole class, so we don't have to do any learning.
Yeah, really. He could go on for days if you gave him the chance.
Yeah.
By the way,
Hmm?
Yeah.
So, like, any interesting stuff that was talked about?
Well, we did talk about Sword and Shield and how people honestly really didn't like and how it's killing the Pokemon franchise, but that's more of those people who are,
Yeah, basically those answers they say like, first gen was perfect how it was. No, the new stuff is bad.
I honestly like there's like if anything, Pokemon Sword had improved on some things. Like for
Care to
example, the
say?
gyms.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh
Yeah, like
definitely.
they really made the gyms feel like freaking gyms.
Yeah, and also it's like a Coliseum.
And
Well, it's a stadium.
And I also like how they did the Pokemon League. Like, they did it more like the flippin' anime than you had to beat these 4 people. Like, it's an actual league this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Though I will admit, some people do have a point with the animations in the trees.
Yeah, I can see that too.
It's like that Ocarina of Time.
Like,
yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, like speaking of Pokemon, like after seeing the trailers for the Gen 4 remakes, I'm just not feeling it. Like,
look, here's the thing. I played Gen 4 and such, and it's like, yeah, they used that style before, but it's literally just a DS game just with updated graphics.
Yeah, but at least you're getting a little redone. Maybe they'll add something new to it. Who knows?
Yeah,
it's
not to
just-
mention, I am so getting Diamond because it's gonna have Murkrow, and I love the Honchkrow.
it's just that the chibi style, style.
Here's
for
the thing.
remake-
In past games, they used that style throughout their series until, well, Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield.
I
They
know,
still
but
had the
What about
chibi
X and Y?
style.
We've got X and Y. X and Y is when they started that.
Yeah.
Let's let Jacob speak.
Okay.
it's just that the way the chibi stuff looked in the Gen 4 remakes is it's it was a
Yes.
it was a turnoff for me, and the
You're
fact that
basically saying that they look like pop figures.
Funko Pop.
yeah, sure, why not? Like and also and the fact that they didn't really show anything like huge, like like how Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were like awesome Gen 3 remakes and such.
Yeah.
Like if it was like more like that, like with content wise, and if it had the look of like Oraz or Sun and Moon or
Well,
hell,
if
even
any,
Let's Go, I probably would have been a bit more enthusiastic. But
well, if anything, it's its own different take, and well, we don't know what these games are going to be full of yet. But I know that there's that upcoming Arceus game.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
yeah, that one actually
Now,
looks
let me question:
promising.
how do you pronounce its name? Is it Arceus, Arceus?
We pronounce it
I-
Arceus.
Arceus, like the Arceus game, that one actually looks promising.
Yeah. And if it's anything like Sword and Shield, then I'm gonna be seriously impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that one. But the Gen 4 remake, unless it has some extra content like Oras does, then I might reconsider. But right now, it just looks like it's for the nostalgic people.
Yeah,
Ooh.
but
I mean, at
basically,
least it's not Kanto again.
Yeah, they milked Kanto to death.
You're really.
milking it for all it's worth.
Those Gen 1ers have already got their time.
Let's let the
Yeah.
other region. Let's let the other region have their time to shine.
Yeah,
Of course.
especially Gen 3, and now we have Gen 4. I will admit, it's about time. I know it's basically it's a little bit slight downer, but I will admit they actually look nice. But I will say this: oh gosh, I hope they don't pretty much end up screwing up the Elite, and especially we don't need Cynthia to be even more of a freaking hard boss, like a freaking brick.
Well, I never played the Gen 4 games, so
Oh,
I
you
do not
don't
know
know
the
the
pain.
terrors. You don't know the horrors of that champion, which is Cynthia and her devilish, the evil Skitty. That's Garchomp, by the way.
Okay.
I
I
guess
just say I
guess that's
hate that thing.
I guess that's an explanation of why you don't like Garchomp.
Yes, it's first impression. I hate it. And plus, the fact that it's another dragon ground type is like, why is Flygon not special anymore?
Flygon will
Well-
always be special.
Yeah,
Yeah,
For me-
seriously.
But my heart belongs to Grandpa Dragon.
I know. I basically made you like the grandpa.
Can you blame me though? It's adorable.
hell, even its name sounds like Grandpa.
By the,
I mean, that's the
Grandpa.
point.
by the
Oh,
way,
Grandpa.
by the way, like
Go ahead.
so you like like I noticed something like you know how you know how the teams, like the evil teams in the Pokemon games, like they used to be evil terrorist organizations.
Yes.
But then starting with Sun and Moon with Team Skull, they're just a bunch of gangsters.
Yeah.
They're just a bunch
Yeah.
of hooligans.
And honestly, we were actually talking about that earlier in the stream. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this is just my opinion, but I just find Team Skull extremely cringy.
Yeah, it's like, yo, dog, what up?
I'm
Basically,
sorry.
it's like, how you doing? How you doing, fellow kids?
At least Kuzma's an interesting character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you could say that it's almost like Team Skull being a bunch of old people, a bunch of boomers trying to act like they're.
And also,
No, they're trying to act like they're
there's Plumeria, the second in command.
And depending on like what version you're like depending on what version you're playing, like Team Skull aren't exactly the villains. Like in Sun and Moon, the true antagonistic faction is the I don't know how to pronounce it. Ether found like
Yeah, Ether.
Ether Foundation, like Lucamine in Sun and Moon was a crazy psycho bitch.
I don't
No.
blame you.
No doubt. She's out of
The
her
way she
she's
treated
out
her
of her-
own children.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's really no wonder why they grew up with so much friggin' problems.
Yeah, and
but-
rebels. Well,
And-
Gladian, he was basically a rebel.
And
But
then-
I am really proud of Lily for standing up for her mom.
And then
then-
you have Ultra Sun and Moon.
which is kind
I
of
was
an
about
alternate timeline.
I was about to say, in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, they took out the Psycho in Lucamine, but she was still a bitch, and the villain was Necrozma for that game.
Well, technically it wasn't a full-on villain per se.
I know, but
More like a beast that was out of control.
yeah, but Necrozma was still labeled as the main antagonist of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yeah, it's meant to be an obstacle course for the main hero and such.
I've never played either of the games.
Well, honestly, if you ever do, I'm gonna give you a heads up. Ultra Necrozma, oh, that is a beast.
I never-
heard.
I've never felt the pain of Ultra Necrozma since I've already told you the story.
Hey, I mean, oh, am I hearing dogs in the background?
Dude, we actually managed to get red treasure howling on your stream.
and, and then in Sword of Shield, there's Team Yell.
Yeah, at
I mean-
least they're a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, they're a bit more entertaining.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Oh, we have a wolf doing that.
so.
Ray, you are not helping the situation.
Like I can't really call Team Yell villains, even though they are delinquents. Like their leader, like he doesn't really feel like an antagonist, like at all.
Not at
Even though-
all.
Yeah,
Pierce,
even
is,
though-
Pierce is
Yeah.
not exactly a villain.
More like
You
a
guys
rebel
did-
without a cause, really.
Yeah, are you guys able to actually hear this?
I
Yes.
can.
Well, actually, you always said you were hoping to get treasure on on stream, so
Even
Okay.
if she is a bit far away.
yeah,
but
well, at
we,
least it's
but we got it.
that was
Mhm.
something, right?
Yeah. And,
So I'm
yeah.
thinking that like after we got everything out of the way, we could just spend like the next few minutes or so just bullshit,
Yeah.
just shooting crap.
Yeah.
Okey-dokey.
But back to the thing with hi doggo. Yes, I can hear you. But yeah, when basically a bit back with Knights and such, a lot of people didn't really a lot of people don't seem to mind Riella that much. He has the least problems compared to what a lot of people say, but there are some who have a kind of an issue with his outfit. Why is that? Because it doesn't match the circus theme. I'm pretty sure some circuses have that attire.
Honestly, I think it actually I think it goes with it beautifully.
Yeah, it's supposed to imply that he's supposed to be threatening. While in the original, yes, there's the circus theme and such, but notice that his vest is open, and his skin color is basically shown. So basically, Riel is kind of more of he kind of looks like a stripper there.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
Wow,
sorry.
You heard it here first, folks. God,
Oh.
that-
looks like we just found out Riella's dirty secret.
No, that was him back then. That was back then.
I know,
From
I'm
Industry
just joking. I'm just joking.
oh yeah, that was an old thing. Is that you? Yes, that was just an old, but it's an old photo of me.
Yeah,
Okay.
and but for at least Journey of Dreams, Riel has a bit more look to him.
yeah. And can I just say that him wearing lipstick? I'm sorry. And him and the terrible said, "Does someone say stripper?"
Oh god.
God, I'm really hoping Uriella isn't here. Hadn't heard that.
No, he's not here.
Good. and I have a feeling if he does watch this, he's gonna find out, and y'all are gonna have some explaining to do.
I don't think he's gonna be mad.
But still,
Yeah.
I missed
Also,
it.
Jackson's here.
Jack.
Oh, Jackson.
Hello, Jackson.
Jackson, you can pretty much just comment in the comments. You don't. Honestly, if I bring Jackson in here, I don't think he's gonna provide much.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
I mean,
Sorry, Hyena.
hell, you're against my will. Help!
That's gold thing. That's gold.
That is so.
Nice reference.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We're all adults here. We are all adults here, so it's good.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Yep, we
Yeah.
are.
and another thing, Knight's pretty much just. Oh my gosh! If you want to, I want to see that.
Oh my god.
What?
Are you gonna have him on a stripper pole?
Oh.
Honestly, I think characters do that. Honestly,
am
how
not-
I just honestly,
I
when I
will-
can describe when I
What?
can describe that type, it's kind of like it's basically its own version of exercising.
God, just imagine real on a stripper pole.
Well,
Oh,
even knights are pretty flexible.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Okay. Now I envision knights doing that, but just for the fun of it.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Cosmo's
Wow.
reaction seeing his own dad doing a
I got
on a stripper pole.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That was
Okay.
funny.
Actually, it makes gosh, why am I thinking now of that moment from Penny and Stocking with the music and the transformation sequence? Both angels and demons.
Oh, God.
my god.
Oh no,
Are you
Oh,
guys
no.
okay?
I just thought of something.
Oh,
What?
Because Knights and Riella being mentioned on a strip pole,
What?
Fallon and Lance on a strip pole.
Actually, they're pretty
why?
skilled with it. They pretty much would be professional about it.
Oh my god! God, that's so fucking bad, but it's really funny. God, what have I done?
Oh God, I just thought of something even worse.
God.
Crash
no.
Bandicoot on a stripper pole.
Oh, why, dude? And I'm gonna make this a 10 times worse. Him on a stripper pole, wearing a speedo.
Oh God!
Oh, no!
Too late. It's already out there.
What did I miss? I had to
Uh,
let the dog out. What did I
I
miss?
suggest when Jacob suggested the idea of Crash Bandicoot and a stripper pole,
Oh God.
and I just made it 10 times worse with him wearing a speedo while doing it.
Ass is fat.
Ooh! And to make it a lot funnier,
Oh no!
Dr. Neo Cortex tied it to a chair, forced to watch it live.
Sick.
Oh God!
Oh God, why?
Suffering never ending.
And to make it and to make this like a whole lot worse, but at the same time extremely funny, he's wearing a speedo, doing a stripper pole on a stripper pole with fishnet tights and serious fucking pumps.
Oh, God.
Oh!
Don't make me. What you gonna do?
Yeah,
What you
let's
gonna do?
step out.
Oh
Also,
my God.
Okay. Basically established that Wild Knight's Journey of Dreams. Back to the topic at hand. So I'm so sorry this got a little off, but hey, at least we are trying to bring up the humor. At least we're bringing in humor into this, so it's
Yeah.
balancing it out.
Uh,
Oh my god, that was hysterical.
Look, Journey of Dreams. I will admit, I acknowledge some of the flaws as well, but isn't every game not perfect?
Hear that?
And the fact that Knights, it did what it had to do. And plus, it brought Knights back. And honestly, I adore Journey of Dreams. And yes, I can acknowledge the faulty and such, including story-wise and such. But then again, what could you do for a Wii game that early? And it took risks. And there's another thing. Well, let's just say, I feel as though Knights' story can pretty much hold up way better than anything Sonic ever pulled. Especially with a character based around in dreams. You can do anything like that. Yeah. Now, basically, the other game that basically also got the worst kind of treatment, even though it's brand new, is Balan Wonderworld. And I gotta say, yes, I can pretty much acknowledge with the controls and such, but let's be honest here, a lot of gamers are basically just multi-button mashers anyways.
True.
And also, a lot of people say, oh, it's too slow. The games are too... Hey, I've seen slower games, and I'd say it's kind of normal speed.
And besides, like, from what I've seen a bit of the gameplay, it looks like one of those games where you mostly have to, like, look around.
Yes. This isn't basically like Sonic, where you basically do that.
And let us get this, and please, everyone, it is not a Sonic game. It was never meant to be a Sonic game.
It's meant to be its own thing.
Why do you guys keep wanting to mention that it's want it to be something? You're basically claiming it's something you're claiming something that's not.
And there are people who say that, oh, it should be delayed, that there should be working hours and such, that sort of stuff. I admit, I know. There are people who want the game to be delayed so it can get worked on and such. I can understand that, but please don't say you hate the game. Please. That's just not making it look, that's just making your opinion kind of not really reasonable with.
You're making it way more one-sided than it really needs to be.
Yeah.
It's speaking of the Sonic stuff. From what I've heard, like Balan Wonderworld was created by someone
Yuji
who made
Naka.
that.
But not only was that, but also created Knights and Billy Hatcher.
I've never heard or
Let's just say Billy Hatcher's it was a wacky little game, but it definitely provided some interesting imagination.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look it up, you'll see what I mean.
Pretty nice one too.
In fact, some of the character designs actually seem that way.
Billy.
Oh.
I like the game, but at some parts it's hard. Yeah, that's kind of the thing with a lot of video games.
Yeah, but that's the thing with Balan. It wants you to explore.
Billy
Also,
Hatcher and the Giant.
Also, hi Hannah. We're basically talking about Balan.
Yeah. And Ashley actually asked me and I actually watched some of the Balan's bouts sort of scenes, and I gotta say, they are really, really fun to watch. Especially the one with where Lance and Balan are battling each other. That was extremely fun to watch.
Yeah, they're very fluid, very emotional, and such. And plus, when you look at both Balan and Lance, their emotions are basically shown. You can see that Lance is not at all angry with Balan. He doesn't look that angry. In fact, he's smiling a bit.
Yeah, I actually did notice that.
It's the little details you notice.
Yeah. And can we just say, can I just say something about Balan and Lance's designs overall?
Go ahead.
My personal favorite design for both of them has to be Lance's design, because I love the little pop of neon colors that contrast really beautifully with the darker colored aspects of them.
It makes him look a bit more intimidating, because let's be honest here, neon colors can actually be scary.
It's abnormal.
So, from what I've seen, honestly, a lot of people betray Lance to be this kind of edge guy who's kind of grumpy and such. He doesn't like Balin at all and such. And Balin, he can be irritatable, or he just doesn't. He can kind of be annoyed with Lance. But look, let's be honest here. I see them more as business partners.
Yeah, and
Also,
not to mention Balin's design,
Hmm.
the dark, like his darker skin, his like everything just contrasts so beautifully.
Yeah, honestly, I feel as though Balin, if you like touch his bare skin, it would actually feel rather smooth.
Nice.
Even Lance.
uh,
I don't know why. And here's the thing, they look less like figurines compared to freaking Sonic and the others.
Yeah, really. Oh,
can
Jim-
I
yeah.
say a few things?
Go ahead.
Like, the only thing of Battle Wonderworld I looked at besides the demo footage would be like the boss battles and some stuff I'm not going to mention because that would be a spoilers.
Yeah, thank you. And people in the chat, please do not spoil anything.
And if I end up spoiling anything by accident, I apologize in advance.
And also, back when Battle Wonderworld was just a trailer, like when I first saw Lance, because the way his eyes looked, it made me thought he was a female at first.
I mean, if you want to know, Balin kind of has girly eyelashes too.
Oh my god, seriously?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I remember I even made a joke with that I even told you guys that.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I know this one.
I don't.
Everyone, get a back seat. This is gonna be interesting. Go ahead. The show is yours.
Yeah, what she said.
Excuse me, you two kids, but you two have got to help me with something. Who the hell are you? I'm Balin. I need you two to help me fight my ex-girlfriend.
Oh,
Oh my
I can
god,
totally
check
vision
out.
Lance in the background. He's just like got a face palm.
God.
And then Balin having like sweat drops. It's like, well, this is awkward.
This is awkward.
Aren't you going to do anything? Actually, no. You two are going to fight him. Have fun!
Well, you two are gonna
Oh,
learn
fuck.
to don't get killed.
Ugh.
I need an adult.
Balin, you asshole!
He's beating up his like, I need an adult. I am an adult.
And the girl just runs away while Leo just gets beaten up by Lance.
Okay, and here's the thing. Lance is the only character where I am not making a hentai joke because he's just too cool for that.
Yeah, really. There's just some characters where it's just really unsavory to make any hentai jokes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we definitely know there's some NSF work of that.
Honestly,
Anyways,
thankfully, from what I've seen, there isn't any art of that.
yay.
As
And
far as you know
Yeah.
of.
But let's just keep it that way.
Yes.
And
And honestly, I see more as Balin and Knights as more like cousins. A lot of people see them as like siblings, but I don't see it because they don't look like they are. I don't see them like that. I mean, they could be relatives in a way, or they could have some sort of connection.
I can see that.
But I've seen pictures where they pretty much make Balin like he's the youngest of the group, but he acts very mature, and he just talks about, and he just mentioned about Sonic being his little older brother, who very much is carefree and such, and he's very protective. I mean,
Speaking of
I'm not.
Sonic,
I mean, that's not. I mean, not gonna lie, that pretty much would be in Balin's character, along with Knights.
speaking of Sonic, I just saw something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, but I just suddenly imagine like Sonic finding out a way to finally defeat Eggman once and for all. And
But
basically, that's just telling Big the cat to jump on top of Eggman.
Jesus Christ! What the hell did you eat? Like, oh, sorry. Like, Can you get off? You're breaking my pelvis! Fine! Oh, sorry, sir. Getting up like, oh! I can't feel my
Okay,
pelvis!
guys.
Hannah
Sorry.
wants in.
Like, damn
Well,
you!
Ashley, it's your
Okay.
call. You want to bring her
Okay.
in? Or...
I mean, we got a pretty balanced group here, but
Have I,
Maybe-
I
have I
suppose.
even ever
Well,
spoken to him?
well, you know what? Maybe Hannah, we would love to have you in, but maybe next time we do a stream.
Also, Jack just
Oh,
said
I already
Sonic
sent the
DLC
link.
for
I
Valorant.
already sent the link.
Oh well, yeah.
Also, Jackson says Sonic DLC for Balan.
No!
Jackman, go to a
Oh.
corner and think about your life.
We don't need that hedgehog.
He let the poor guy have a break.
Yeah, seriously, we don't need Sonic for every DLC. Jeez.
Yes.
Come on. Basically, they're whoring him out too much. Let the poor guy have a break. Let his butthole have
Wait,
a break.
did you seriously just call Sonic a whore?
Wow! Holy shit, Ed.
Now that-
Oh my
Wow,
god, now it just makes me think Tig this big pimp and Sonic is basically. Oh my gosh, it's Sonic Angel Dust at this point!
I wouldn't be
it
too
kind of
surprised if
feels
that was
like
a
it at that
gay.
point. It kind
Hang
of
on.
feels like it at that point.
Yes.
Seeing how much they treat
That's
how
just
much
my
they did.
imagination.
I really, you know what?
Hey,
Why do
let
I
me
want to see
die.
Sonic in the Hazbin Hotel a look?
Oh god.
Like,
Actually, I've
having
seen a
my-
picture where Knights was in a drawing where Knights is in Hazbin Hotel and he's hanging out with Angel Dust.
Oh, that's
Oh no.
WTH. We are going completely off the rails and
Yes.
the
Yeah,
most lewd
basically
way
back to
possible.
Balin. Back to Balin. Look, what I can say is that this is a game that's basically tackling certain issues, but in its own unique way. I mean, did you pay attention to the trailers and how they're presented? They can be
Yeah.
dark.
Of course, people deal with trauma.
And I've seen the trailers. My God.
And remember how you say that Balin's a genius.
Yes, like how they're like portraying some of these in the game the game trailers. It's extremely creative.
Yeah, and not many people honestly would realize that. In fact, I kind of compare it slightly to Silent Hill.
Oh shit.
You know,
Basically,
with
your
the
own
whole
inner demon.
idea of trauma and such.
Yes, in your own inner demon taking form.
It's okay,
Yes.
Hannah.
In fact, that's something also Knights has too.
And like someone and like there even was like little like clips for like animation clips for the trailer for the Eternal Night.
Oh yeah.
Those are kind of interesting.
It's a
My
shame
first-
that they were so short and that we didn't get many of them.
But honestly, I love actually seeing the Guardians actually using their elements. And when Terrador did that thing with his that move with his tail, that was really
Compound.
cool. Yeah, that was really cool.
Neat.
Yeah. Like
Now,
now that I think about it, they could have easily made like a Legend of Spyro TV show.
Oh, I
that
would have
wasn't, that
loved
wasn't Skylanders.
Yes. But, oh my god, I would have loved to see that.
Me too. That would be freaking amazing. In fact, there's actually going to be a movie based off of A New Beginning, but it got canceled.
Yeah, I was so mad.
Oh,
I was so mad about that. That would have been such a cool thing to see.
Why has our purple dragon boy being denied so much?
it feels like every time there's something that always cool happens, it seems like whenever we have something good that's going to happen, immediately it gets canned and we're given garbage and
Yeah, not many people were on board with the idea.
Purple
That is-
boy must hug, must protect.
Yes. And
Oh,
oh my god, we should totally do that again.
yeah, we can do that next stream.
do what?
Yeah,
Cards
Cards
Against
Against Humanity.
Humanity.
What about that one game? It was called. I played a game with some friends. It was called You Don't Know Jack.
Never heard of
I
Never
don't
heard
know
of
about
it.
that.
It's a game. It's just like Cards Against Humanity, but it has
There's
a lot
also
more freedom.
Mad Libs.
Yeah.
it. Never played Mad
Basically, a
Libs.
randomized story you can make.
We got and me and my friend Marissa actually did Mad Libs once. It was one of the most outlandish shit shows we've ever done. It was hysterical.
Mhm.
Wait a minute.
I'm okay. Yeah. Anyways, how I can pretty much say is that Balan is a game of itself. Yes, it takes some elements and references from its other games, but it's still its own thing with a lot of costumes, different ideals, different expressives and such. And you don't often get games centered around dreamlike atmospheres. And this is a theater, mind you.
I find the whole concept of Balan Wonderworld extremely unique and creative, and I really think it's getting much more hate than it really deserves.
In fact, there's a lot of positive artwork of it.
I think it's beautifully done. And
And also, some people actually did dubbings of these sort of experiences, and I will admit it does capture them really well, mainly a Balan and Lance, and it works so well to its advantage. Especially the response of the so much negativity.
Even when it seems like all is lost, balance plus represent that one ray of silver lining.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm gonna say this, Lance. The fact that you pointed out there's possibly still some, Balan's gonna bounce back.
Yeah, really. And can I just say one thing? Ashley, do you remember that one comic dub you showed me with Lance and Riella?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Where? Can I show that? Can I show that?
I'm probably gonna mute it if you do it because I'm sorry, I can't listen to it without.
It's all right.
cringing.
It's all right. You don't have to. Hang on. I'm getting the thing. Come on.
Okay.
Just give me a moment, people. Look, it'll basically be fine. It'll be okay.
You got
I'm just
this.
trying to get the thing.
We're doing
Yeah,
it.
come on! I'm sorry, people. This is basically just me just saying, come on! Load!
Pain. We
God,
all
we
know the feeling.
God, do we? I just.
Yeah, come on! Why not you pretty much want you? Suddenly turned into Kazooie there.
Jesus Christ, dude. Hey, Ash, what kind of icon are you using? It's just a really interesting. It's a picture of Riella.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is Riella.
Yeah.
It's basically him in the moonlight.
For a second, and I'm honestly like, please forgive me for saying this, but I honestly thought for a second he would look like a spider.
No, it's okay, really. Okay, found it. I found it.
Oh God. Guys, we are very sorry for what you're about to see.
Yes. Keep in mind, this was basically how things went, and I just gotta say, I feel so bad for Riella in this.
I just.
Alrighty.
All right,
now
ready,
let's
guys?
You know, Lance, I'm convinced you'd be less miserable if you just smiled once in a while. If I what? Smile, gloomy Gus, you. Nothing brightens the stage more than a glowing smile. Come on, Lance. Let's see that gorgeous smile.
That's pretty normal.
See. Well then.
That's pretty normal.
Fuck.
A dream train.
Aww.
This is amazing.
Door.
Who else is riding this train?
Hey, you.
I'm not.
Oh
Wait
God!
a minute, I know that
Oh my
kid. He's
God.
in the
Hey,
Polar
you know what
Express.
train this is? It's
Oh,
an
that's funny.
Oh
Yeah.
God!
Nice.
Come along, Helen. We have much more things to discover.
Oh,
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
You another of Wise Men's puppets?
I think the more important
oh my
question
God.
is, where did you get this fantastic ensemble?
I could totally see him.
yeah, dork and oh God, this. Why does
Why
Riella have a sword?
You're dealing with a child of wise men.
Okay, Riella would never say that. He would not fucking say that.
Gives you some sort of purpose, a form of
And Lance.
completeness.
I like the Kingdom Hearts theme in the background.
Pathetic little object.
This seems something Kingdom Hearts.
A wise man.
Yeah, I get
ready
it.
to cut your strings.
Is that trying
Okay,
to?
is he pulling a Zemnis here? Is he pulling a Zemnis?
That's all you
Yep.
I
Or
have absolutely
Ansem.
no idea. I've never played it.
significant tool.
Just
Only reason
why?
No matter how you
Lance-
look at it, Xehanort is Xehanort.
Lance is never like this. If I knew something, Lance wouldn't be this. And, this is just so bad. Why did they do this to Riella?
I think
Why
my
would they?
I think my face just caved in from cringing so much.
I
Fucking
know.
why? Oh,
Why did that
God.
with Lance and Riella? Why?
Why did you have to make Riella like that? That just was no.
That's
no,
not
no.
Riella's character at all. In fact, that's not. I don't even
Parody.
think. I mean, I guess Lance would use that to his advantage, but I don't think he would say that to a Knight Marin.
Speaking of
parody, really.
And speaking of which, this is the other one I was trying to mention.
Oh God.
You know,
let
you know-
Jacob speak.
Go ahead.
speaking of comic dubs, I know two funny Spiral ones.
Oh
no.
God.
Mhm.
We'll say that for another stream, dude.
Yes. Right now, here we can go for a better one.
Please. Anything to bleach that out of my eyes.
Here, this is more. This has a positive. This actually has a message out there, and for those who really, really took it harshly on Balin.
Hey, wait a minute. Isn't that one that you? Oh my God! I remember this one.
It's this game.
It's awful. Just awful.
We're not impressed.
Balan Wonderworld? More like bland Blunderworld.
It's just too strange. This game is trash.
I'm so disappointed.
I hate you.
Good God, this is depressing.
Wait for it.
And look who's coming in.
You poor, pathetic, stupid clown. You try so hard to put on a show for the people.
Hey, he pulls it better than
Distract them
Infinite.
with gaudy theatrics in a vain attempt to give them the illusion that their dreams could come true. Well, look how they repay you. They hate everything about you. The oversimplified controls, the poorly executed costumes, the nonsensical narrative. QTEs? In 2021? People just can't help but unleash every single ounce of their raw, unbridled hatred on poor little Balin. Sure, you might have just a small number of docile fools who are stupid enough to find some amusement in your shallow antics. But like a storm cloud covering the sun, their shouts of joy are drowned by the unquenchable hatred people have for you. You're right. I try to entertain the masses. Fill them with the same limitless joy that I have for them.
This feels like a
But
Persona
instead
skit.
of joy,
Yeah, wait.
nothing but frustration and disappointment.
Yeah, this is like 1,000 times better than the freaking than whatever that thing with Riella was.
Time.
Mhm.
But you're right about something else, Lance.
You jinxed it,
I
buddy.
have amassed a few fans.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Balin.
Which means I have an audience.
Yep. Well, yeah, there we go.
And as a man of showmanship, I can't let my audience down. I'll keep
Yeah!
my heart stop beating, but as long as I can entrance some hearts and bring some people the joy they deserve, it'll
Yep.
all be worth it.
Yeah.
Attaboy, Balin.
Yeah. This is basically a response to all the negativity that was given.
I think it was done absolutely beautifully.
Yeah.
Like what you like what you like.
Just
we all
don't
have
be.
our different
Yeah.
opinions.
But seriously, a lot of the masses. Seriously?
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. The internet, usually Twitter and the internet makes the negativity seem so much bigger.
Never
Yeah.
use Twitter.
I have
Never
a
used
feeling that even if do you think maybe sometimes even okay, Lance can sense negativity and there's a lot of it. Why do I feel like that not only is that like a power source or something, but why do I feel like he might get sick from it? Like it's just a bit too much. Like
What is-
too much power can actually turn against them.
Oh, you know what? That's actually really interesting that you
Yeah.
say that.
Self-consuming core. Basically, you could say that it's basically like sinking in tar. As soon as you get too much into it, you just sink until you drown.
Yeah.
your own
So in a
personal
way,
nihilist.
Balin. Yeah, Balin. The fact that he counteracts Lance, it's kind of an. I like to think it's a simplified version of what Kingdom Hearts was. Say like, oh, I don't know, Ventus and Venus whole complex thing. They're like the light and dark thing, but it actually works.
Of course, there has to be balance. There's always
Yes.
neither side can exist without each
Yeah,
other.
while Kingdom Hearts says, "Oh, darkness is bad, darkness is evil," and such.
At the same time, they show that it isn't completely. It
I
seems
mean-
like at first
I
it
mean,
seems
look-
like that, but not.
Yeah, I mean, look at Riku.
Of course, they say like when there's too much of one thing, it ends up overshadows the other, so it ends up destroying. If you destroy light, you destroy dark. If this darkness destroys light, it will destroy itself.
Yeah,
And not
and when
to-
you.
uh, And not to mention the fact that Xehanort literally tried to make 13 versions of himself for one thing.
To cause another war and maybe probably end all existence.
Well,
Just
no,
so-
he just wanted the
just-
Keyblade.
Look, I'll say this clearly here. If you notice, Balin, he doesn't fully intervene with a lot of the kids' adventures. Maybe that's why you don't get to play as him often, because he feels as though it's not his
Story, you would say.
well, actually, it's just not his role to pretty much intervene too much, because he's allowing the kids discover things for themselves. And if they do need help, if they find a specific item, aka the hat, then he will lend them a hand. In a way, it's basically getting those little heart pieces.
Yeah. This is your journey, not his.
He's just there. He's basically there as a guide and there to help. And
Yeah.
he's an entertainer. He's an entertainment fella.
As well as the director.
Yes. And basically, Lance is basically just the co-director.
Yes, and also you could say the antagonist. That every hero needs an antagonist.
Yes.
A beginning needs an end.
Yeah. I can see those two having respected boundaries on each other.
Yes. True.
Also, the way Lance, how his abilities work, it's actually quite interesting, but also kind of terrifying.
Basically, basically able to pull that trauma and darkness out of you and manifest into a physical form. Kind of like that
Depression.
darkness. Darkness, depression, and
Yeah.
yourselves.
And
You're opposite.
basically, yeah, and turn them into monsters. That is
Yes.
basically something I will say. It's kind of like a lighter version of what happens in Silent Hill. That person, they will turn into a monster.
Yes, your inner demon, you could say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Someone.
From what it
Mhm.
looks like, Lance doesn't really hurt them per se. He just gives them a touch from from his magic, and that's it. That's all he's doing, and it just lets it do the rest.
Yeah,
And,
it's like,
and
Oh,
I
it's
feel
fine.
like getting. Oh, sorry. I feel like getting something out of my system real quick.
Go ahead.
And as you can see here, Lance is making that old farmer depressed. I
He wasn't
think
making
he
it.
just turned him into a giant wolf, and you're gonna have to fight the farmer to save him. Wait, what?
Like, what?
God damn it,
Don't
Jacob.
worry. All a part of the plan.
And then I imagine Lance just like,
You already.
seriously, you do realize they could eventually be killed, right? What will happen then?
Like, that's never going to happen.
1 minute later.
But-
I told
Oh
you.
well, probably. There's always a next time. Reset.
I'll be in my room. Call me if you need anything.
If you really think, well, either way, it's weird.
Yeah, also, in certain trailers, you will see Balin in some sort of role. Like, it's more like a Where's Waldo incident where you're trying to see where is he? Honestly, I appreciate the little ideal in detail.
Yeah.
Where's Wardo?
Also, speaking of Balin, when I get done with Shield, I will do that, but for a stream, so everyone can see for themselves too.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, do you guys want to join in?
Sure, why
Yes.
not?
It'll definitely be fun. And also, we'll basically just keep it just not too extreme, please.
Can do.
Sounds about right.
Also, Edward, I'm not sure if you saw my newest a new design for next gen.
I don't think so yet.
Well, I'm just gonna say this right now. Like,
Oh,
yes, it does.
yeah,
look
exactly.
really
Thank
cool.
you.
Like, I actually redid my Daring Do and Ali's
Oh, yeah,
little ship.
Oh yeah, you can help.
I remember I saw
you
that.
played the demo, and
Yeah.
yes, I wouldn't mind the help.
Yeah. So, what'd you think?
So far, I like it.
What'd you think of the ship?
It's interesting. I'll give you that.
Kalen actually suggested it.
Hmm.
I was like, when he told me that, I'm like, oh my god. I could sense a serious garbage fire for that, and oh my god, that's gorgeous.
Also, can I just briefly bring up mine?
Yeah.
The one that I basically showed a little earlier.
Oh yeah. Yin Yang.
Yeah.
Let's see.
This is sort of a redesign of my changeling character.
You
I
know,
always thought the changelings look really cool compared to the ponies.
oh yeah. And Edward's gone.
This is mainly color. This is basically color coded, basically half and half.
Okay, so like when you're done with the do you mind if we show up Ichado?
What?
He caught him. Can we show up
Sure, I can do that.
yeah.
Sure.
So if anyone and there he is.
Yeah, sorry, I accidentally exited out. Like I said, that's why me and Chelsea kind of came up with the Obsidian Changeling race.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, hang on a sec.
Take your time.
I think for just a few minutes we'll be just doing this, and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
And then maybe,
Hmm.
and then next stream we will do the Cards Against Humanity.
Oh hell yeah!
This was actually this was a ship that was suggested by one of my friends this morning since I decided to redo this one.
Pretty.
Thank you. And the ship for this one is probably one of what I like to call a garbage fire ship. This is the daughter of Alizodal and Windrider. Yes, you heard me right.
For people who don't know, here to explain.
And I am really not that sorry because I love doing crazy ships like that.
And that's the truth. Oh yeah,
So-
World, you are definitely coming in for that. You're coming in for the next stream.
So when do you want to wrap this up, Ash?
Well, I guess I can sum it up best. Despite how much there's a lot of people who have their hatred for these sort of games and such, there are at least those who I give you credit. I'm just glad they actually aren't in that fallen crowd. They at least gave these games a chance, and it gave them an experience they pretty much they'll be glad they did.
Yeah. It's basically, I think this is going to end up becoming like a cult classic later on. Just give
Mhm.
it time. Like, basically, people go like, later they look back at the future, they're like, the game actually wasn't really that bad. I mean,
I even saw a review who basically talked about the demo and such, and saying they did point out some of the
flaws, but
yes, but they still enjoyed it. Balan is a game that's meant to be charming and enjoyed.
yes.
Yeah,
I guess
And
now
I did go into the reasons as to why Balan is important and why it's needed. But I think that'll be for another time.
yeah, I guess people just like to complain more often because it's basically a lot easier nowadays. People just need to find more positivity.
yeah, really. Like, I think this would be a good time to wrap everything up.
Yeah. Well,
You want to know what game is pretty easy, but a lot of people still love it?
What?
Kirby!
true.
Kirby, the being that will devour the entire universe.
Was basically the most powerful being in the entire universe, literally able to defeat godlike entities, all but yet still having this childlike innocence about it. Like, basically just I don't know. It's like, so basically you just killed Cthulhu. Why? I don't know. Because he was hurting my friend.
Okay. But here's the thing. Kirby wouldn't have been able to do so on his own completely without some help.
True.
I mean, yes, Kirby is capable of handling things, but he still has his limits, too.
So,
Anyways, yeah, everyone. Look forward to those games that basically are out and give them a try if you like.
Yep.
There is something
Well-
you can enjoy in them. You
Yep.
may find out that it could actually be something you need. Balance isn't something we want, but it's more like something we need.
I heard that.
And think about it. Given the games and such, let's say hit or miss, you kind of need something to, well...
something experimental. Something that's a breath of fresh air. Something new. Something...
And also, I guess you could say Balin is more considered to be that one friend who wants to tell you that, sure, things may seem rough right now, but things will be okay. Things will turn out to be okay.
So tune in next time for Cards Against Humanity, everyone.
Yeah,
Oh.
or who knows, maybe Balin may show up along with Lance and Riella, and they may actually say things like last time.
No,
yes,
that
and
would be funny.
I may probably end up making horrible decisions in that game.
Like,
No
wait,
doubt.
did somebody mention Cards Against Humanity? Oh, great,
Yep,
he's here.
we're doing it next stream, Balin.
Oh, this will be an interesting one. Hopefully, I don't get the rather rude ones.
Dude, honey, that whole freaking game is rude. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm Rosefane. This has been Rosefane 16.
I'm Jacob the Dragon.
Everett, your outro.
Oh, I'm Ever Trooper here. So
And the Dragon Lover 95, along with yours truly. See you all for Cards Against Humanity, and well,
Stay-
look forward to my game. And I am simply happy to know that you guys are just so important. You are who you are. Always
Stay-
remember who you are.
Stay frosty, everyone.
true.